Hello everybody, welcome back to 40 Days with Dietrich, our journey through the season of Lent. I hope that you've been enjoying these videos and I look forward to hearing from you. So I would definitely encourage you to give me an email, drop me a line, let me know how you are engaging with these videos and how you are enjoying the words of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Just so you know, before we get into this passage, which is again taken from Life Together, this very much is the conclusion or kind of the summing up or the bringing together of the last two previous days' readings. And so if you need to go back and kind of remember what Bonhoeffer said 2 days ago and then yesterday, please do so, because this very much is kind of the cap of that, and he brings the two themes together. And so the title given to this excerpt is Good Work. Again, this is taken from Life Together. Dietrich writes, "In this process, work does not cease to be work. But the severity and rigor of labor is sought all the more by those who know what good it does them. The continuing conflict with the it remains. But at the same time, the breakthrough has been made. The unity of prayer and work, the unity of the day, is found. Because finding the you of God behind the it of the day's work is what Paul means by his admonition to pray without ceasing. The prayer of the Christian reaches, therefore, beyond the time allocated to it, and it extends into the midst of the work. It surrounds the whole day. And in doing so, it doesn't hinder work, it promotes work. It affirms work. It gives work great significance and joyfulness. Thus, every word and every deed, every piece of work of the Christian becomes prayer." So two days ago, we heard Bonhoeffer talk about the unity of work and prayer, and how the unity of work and prayer is really dependent upon giving prayer a due focus, its own deserved due, he says, and taking time to give a focused attention to prayerfully connecting with God. And for Bonhoeffer, that occurred in the morning. He writes about how the morning belongs to the church, and we enter into, morning prayer, the song of the church in the morning, in this prayerful liturgy. And then yesterday we talked about how engaging in the work that we have to do, the tasks of the day, the demands of the day, the people we have to see and interact with, going through that, engaging with the it of the day, I have to do it, is a place where we push past just the labor, what we have to do, but we find the you of God. We find God who meets us in the reality of life. And so the work that we have to engage in is actually a place where we meet the living God, where we meet Jesus Christ. In this reading, Bonhoeffer just brings it all together. And so he talks about how work is always going to be work. And there's the severity of the rigor and the labor he talks about, and the continuing conflict with the it remains. There's always going to be that tasks, and those tasks that we have to do are always going to be tasks that we have to do. It's going to be work. And Bonhoeffer affirms that. But at the same time, our lives become transformed through our prayerful connection with Jesus, so that when we enter into those demands and those tasks and the its of the day, we actually begin to engage the you of God's presence, who meets us in those places. And so, that's where he says, this is what Paul means when he says pray without ceasing. Paul's not talking about just go into your prayer closet for 24 hours a day and engage in this eternal recitation of the Our Father. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about boldly and radically see Jesus with you every single moment, and try to boldly and willfully engage in the presence of Jesus every single moment. That's what it means to pray without ceasing. Even in the tasks of the day, we find the you of God. And so, when we have our times of prayer, and again, for Bonhoeffer, this was in the morning. When we have our time of prayer, this prayerful attitude that we enter into work, it remains with us, right? So our prayerfulness and our prayerful connection with God isn't just for that 10 minutes in the morning or that half an hour in the morning or whatever it might be. It journeys with us and it transforms the rest of the day. It extends into those places of work and tasks and demands. So it surrounds the whole day, and it allows us to enter into whatever lies before us, whatever the work lies before us, he says, with a sense of satisfaction and joy, because that is a place where Jesus has called us. And that is a place where we meet the presence of Jesus. And so the Christian life becomes this life of prayer. So maybe that's the challenge for us. And again, to think about our prayer lives, and think about when we go through our tasks and demands, the its of the day. Do we choose to see those as places where we meet God, where we journey with Jesus, where we just might encounter the presence of the living Jesus? Because that's what Bonhoeffer is talking about. God bless you all as you journey through your season of Lent. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.